as women, we look at it and we say, well, I don't have every single thing that they want.
It is a real thing.
Do you know that, and this is not to hate on guys, we love our guys, but they'll see one thing that they qualify for out of a list of 10 and they'll think, I'm gonna apply for this, you know? It's because, you know, typically they've just got the confidence to just throw it out there. And again, I mean, what's the worst they're gonna tell you? No? No? Yeah, no. So be that person that, hey, if you fit one of these, as long as it kind of fits, you know, pretty well, just go ahead and apply. I would definitely say to do that. There have been many things that I've gotten that I really did not think I was probably the right fit for, but who am I to say? I'm not the casting director.
Don't say no before anybody else can say it to
Don't
you.
tell yourself no. Don't tell yourself no. That's another huge thing. Let someone else tell you no. That's fine. Someone else sometimes can tell you no. And sometimes it is a final no. But don't be the one to tell yourself no. So go ahead and apply for it if you think that there's room in there. So like you and I, we could probably go anywhere from like, well, you 18 to, you know, 35. Well, okay, I'm 31, but if someone says it's a cutoff at 25, well, I might still fit. Some might still apply for it. And again,
the one role I think of, what was it? Hannah Montana's brother, Jackson.
Yeah.
He played a high school student, but was well into
he
his
was
30s.
like 35.
And you wouldn't have known that until they put that information out on the internet.
Exactly.
So.
And you know, that casting call was probably 18 to 22.
So,
But
you
he
never
was a
know.
lot older. So, and think about all the kids who played on Glee. All those kids were over the age of 18, and they were playing high schoolers. Think about Grease. We all know Rizzo was well
Euphoria.
past. Yeah, she was. Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of examples of that where someone doesn't necessarily fit the exact thing that maybe that casting director is looking for. Now, obviously, don't, like I said, don't go too crazy. If they're looking for, you know, a Mandarin-speaking woman, and you don't speak a lick of it, don't apply for that. But you know, there's a lot of things that you can kind of have that wiggle room on. So yeah, I say go for it within boundaries, but I say go for it.
Well, thank you so much, everybody who's out there streaming.
Thank you.
Casting Call.
Thank you.
Again, this is Tess Hammock. I'm Judea Murray. And actually, before we go, I had questions for you, but what happens if our viewers have questions for you? Where can they submit them?
Yeah, I love getting y'all's questions. I get a lot of them throughout the week. You can DM me on Instagram at Casting Call with Tess Hammock, and there you'll find me. You'll find our lovely logo there as well, so you'll know that that is me, but I'll see you in the DMs.
All right. We'll have more content for you after this.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Rollins, and this is News Now. We're following breaking news right now at Stone Mountain Park, where investigators say they have found a burned body earlier this morning. They're on scene right now. We want to go to our Billy Heath. Our photojournalist Billy Heath is there. Billy, you actually had to ride the gondola up to the mountain. This is kind of give us that perspective of where they found this body and kind of, you know, what you're seeing.
Hey, good morning, Elizabeth. Yes, I did have to take the skylift up to the top of the mountain to find where this body is located. As you can see right now from my shot, you can see kind of the tops of the head and shoulders of the agents there. They are looking down at where that body is located. And if visitors who are familiar with this park, you know, right as you get to the top of the mountain on the skylift, that is right where this body is located, directly underneath where you would sort of get get to the top of the mountain, you look down, that's where the body is at. Now, there is a public information officer with the park sort of headed my way now. You can see him on screen, so I'll be talking with him shortly. But we are here. We are on top of the mountain and following the story for any new details. Any other questions, Elizabeth?
So, Billy, it took you a while to find this scene. Oh, thank you. You're zooming out for us. Again,
yes, just to give you an idea of where this is located. Yep.
Very unusual place for something like this to, have an investigation, and it's hard for these investigators to get out there. It was hard for you to get out there, so this is definitely a very unique situation.
Absolutely. So once we did confirm this with the DeKalb County Police, I started searching the park, and it did take me about 20 minutes to locate where this body was at. You'd think it'd be in some, less populated area of the park, but it's right on top of the mountain, one of the most popular areas of the park. So that was certainly surprising to me to find that out. And of course, again, we're just working to learn everything we can about this as the GBI is here conducting their investigation.
And as you're there on scene, this is a beautiful day. A lot of folks usually come to Stone Mountain. How is this impacting folks and accessing part of the park?
I think a lot of people, they're seeing the police presence at the base of the mountain where the skylift is, and they've come up and asked me, is the park open? What's going on? And, you don't want to scare anybody, so you kind of share a little bit, but you don't want to share too much, and I hope they can still enjoy their day, because obviously they want to be outdoors. As you mentioned, it's a beautiful day otherwise, but there are sections of the park that are closed off right now that people cannot access. But the rest of the mountain is actually open, and there are people hiking up here. So they're just keeping the scene isolated, keeping people away from that, and it's sort of out of eyesight. So that's certainly nice for people who are up here trying to enjoy their morning.
So what we're looking at right now, is that part of the area that they have closed off? Are you basically to the point where the public can no longer access?
Yeah, so right underneath the skylift, generally you can't hike that far anyways. It gets pretty steep in that area. But as we confirmed with DeKalb County, this happened sort of underneath a ridge. So again, just certainly out of sight from the usual spectators. Now, I do believe they have the skylift closed, and that is because if you were to take the skylift, you would be able to look down and see this scene.
Okay. But did you take the skylift to get up here?
Well, they let me take the skylift. They're allowing media to come up here to a media staging area, and they did allow me to take the skylift. I was able to look down. I did see GBI and other investigators they have the area underneath the ridge sort of canvas off, and they're conducting their investigation right now.
Okay, so definitely impacting skylift operations. Wow.
Absolutely, yes.
Any idea?
Don't expect to take the skylift right now.
Yeah.
If you're visiting the park today.
Any idea how long this is going to take to process this scene?
This is a difficult scene because it is on top of a mountain. So GBI, I'm sure they had to bring their gear up the skylift. So, investigators are also utilizing the skylift this morning to get all their gear up here to conduct their investigation. So I would imagine, I can't confirm, but I would imagine this is going to take longer than a typical, crime scene investigation just because of where it's located on top of a mountain.
And as we mentioned that the skylift is closed, but are they letting folks hike up the mountain? Again, we're looking at what this kind of...
So, yes, sorry to interrupt you there, Elizabeth, but yes, so if you take the walk-up trail, people are still able to take the walk-up trail up the mountain, but you're just not you're sort of stopped when you get to the area underneath the skylift.
So you said that there's other folks. Are you able to show us kind of your perspective of
sure,
kind of like
just
where...
give me 1 second. Yeah, give me one second. I'm going to pan the camera around. You might hear some audio noise from my microphone. It might be a little loud for a second, but I'll pan around for you, and you can see a typical day here at Stone Mountain Park otherwise. Give me 1 second.
No problem. Okay. So they are still letting folks at least hike up the mountain, not take the skylift?
Yeah, so... Here we go. My microphone is back. It's sort of windy up here, so I apologize if you're hearing that wind noise. But yes, you can see there's hikers up here sort of enjoying the mountain this morning. They're just being very discreet about this, this scene. Luckily, as I said, it's out of sight. So unless you've, seen the notifications, you've seen this story online, I think most people on top of the mountain are thankfully unaware of, what might have occurred up here.
Still a very disturbing situation. Obviously, we're going to continue
Yes.
to follow this. Thank you so much, Billy Heath, photojournalist. We will continue to follow this and keep you updated. Meanwhile, let's turn now to Alex Forbes tracking some beautiful weather this weekend. Alex?
Yeah, that's right. A fantastic day today. Temperatures started off in the 50s this morning. Now we're quickly getting into the 70s and the 80s here by the time we work our way into the afternoon. Sunset tonight not until 8:43. So a spectacular Saturday on the way. Be sure to get outside and enjoy it. Here's how it looks on the forecast model now. See 4 p.m. Boom, 80, 81, 82 you see on the map there. Dry day, a dry night, overnight into Sunday morning. Temperature starting off a couple degrees warmer than this morning. Then for tomorrow afternoon, you see a couple of green specks there. Could see a couple of scattered showers and maybe even a storm or two up near the North Carolina-Tennessee state line. That would be around the sunset hour. Any activity we do see on Sunday, out of here for Monday morning. Temperatures in the 60s and 50s once again. Then for Monday afternoon, we break into the 80s and mid-80s at that. I know you see a couple green specks there on Monday. I really don't think we're going to see much in the way of scattered shower activity, though. Wind gusts today, they're going to be noticeable, 20, 25 miles an hour, maybe even 30 miles an hour up in the higher elevations of the northeast Georgia mountains. Nothing we haven't seen before, right? But it's going to be something that's going to be noticeable through the afternoon. So a nice day ahead. It will be breezy at times. Our high temperature is going to be just a couple degrees below the average high here for this final day of May. And some spots are not going to break into the 80s, right? You see the region temperature 76 to 82. If you're up in the northeast Georgia mountains where we will see some of those strongest wind gusts, I think those are the spots that might be stuck in the 70s today. And then also a rogue spot in and around the metro area, such as Carrollton, might only hit 79 before the day is over. But plenty of sunshine to go around today and tonight for the Braves game, 4:10 over at Truist Park. Looking for the Red Sox to hopefully take game 2. We'll see about that one. And then as we work our way into the overnight hours, things will begin to cool down. 62 our overnight low temperature. That wind is going to continue for some people, gusting upwards of 15 miles an hour. Mostly clear skies, just a couple degrees below the average, much like the high temperature today. I think if you're in the higher elevations, once again, you'll be on the cooler side. Maybe not the 40s like we saw this morning, maybe low 50s, 53 Blairsville, 59 in Canton, 59 in Rome, 62 here in the city, 60 over in Covington, and 60 in Athens. The extended outlook here, all right, looking at a dry week, which we'll take after the last several weeks. We've had plenty of rain, finishing May above average in the rainfall department. I think by Friday and Saturday, we'll pick up the kind of summertime shower and storm activity at 30 to 40%. Really, I think the activity will get started on Thursday, though, with a 20% chance of rain. So here's how it shapes up now in your Fox 5 Storm Team forecast. Dry today, 20% chance of showers tomorrow, and then here comes the heat and humidity through the work week ahead. But Elizabeth, tomorrow night, that 20% chance of rain might give way to some northern lights. Yes, you heard me correctly. We're going to talk about that coming up here in just a little bit.
All right, thanks so much, Alex Forbes. Well, right now, a celebration of life ceremony is happening at Georgia Tech. Atlanta Hawks legend, or remembering Atlanta Hawks legend Dikembe Mutombo. We want to go to our Lindsay Tuman now live. Lindsay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you too, Elizabeth. Yeah, that celebration of life underway happening here behind me. Let me go ahead and bring you over so that you can see what exactly is happening. We're hearing from friends, community members, folks who worked with Dikembe Mutombo and his humanitarian efforts. So many moving tributes. Earlier we saw performances and musical guests as well. Right now you're listening in on one of those speakers.
And my mom, Janet, well, she became his mom. I think it was that got her special love.
I'll step away here so I can talk to you a little bit more about that impact that we've learned so much about. The thing that really stands out to me is, of course, many folks know Dikembe Mutombo as a legendary basketball player, an all-star basketball player known for playing with the Atlanta Hawks for more than 300 games, being an amazing defensive player. But what's really highlighted today is those humanitarian efforts, both on a local scale here in Atlanta, but on a global scale, the work he did for his home country of the Republic of Congo, building hospitals, providing so much humanitarian aid. And that's what folks I spoke to who are here at this event really wanted highlighted today as well.
Tell me, why did y'all come out here today?
Ooh. Well, just to pay respect to a great man who's done wonderful things, has impacted not only the city, the state, but the global. Yeah.
It's so incredible to think about his legacy. Of course, basketball on the court, an icon. But across Atlanta, what he did for the city and around the world, I mean, truly a humanitarian in every sense of the word.
Very much so. An ambassador, yeah, very much so.
Is there anything in particular that stood out to you or that impacted you personally just in his efforts and his work that he did?
You go ahead, Debbie.
In light of all of that, we are here as family.
And
we feel
friends.
like a chosen family and friends because our children grew up together.
Yeah.
We all attended the same school, and they invited us into their community, and he took all of our calls and invited us into his home, and he was just very charitable and supportive of our small school community. Being such a big, iconic person, to still be approachable in that manner is just priceless.
Just really such an impressive person in every way. And being here today and seeing how many people have already come out, what does that say to you?
It doesn't surprise me at all. It really doesn't surprise me. I'll be surprised if this venue holds everybody, to tell you the truth. He's just impacted so many people in so many ways. And he was a very kind and humble person, and not a braggadocious person, right? So he was truly a gentle giant and very humble.
Is there anything else that you want to add or make sure that, we're telling folks?
Well,
he was a great father.
Yes, great father,
Yeah.
husband, and
Yeah.
father to all of our kids.
Is right.
He's just a great person. Just happy to be here to celebrate.
He's missed, deeply missed.
Yeah, I keep hearing it over and over again. Larger than life, not only on the court, but in the efforts he made around the entire world. And they're continuing those efforts with the Dikembe Mutombo Memorial Fund, which is raising funds for a number of community efforts, including Hosea Feeds and Shepherd Center. Really incredible work still being done to honor an incredible life. That's the latest here from the Georgia Tech campus. I'm Lindsay Tuman. Elizabeth, back to you.
Thanks so much, Lindsay. Well, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to take you to Jasper, Georgia, where they are already channeling fall with a haunted maze. We'll take you there in just a bit. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're having a great last day of May. It's nice and warm outside, but many folks are already kind of channeling that fall weather. Up in Jasper, they're celebrating fall with a haunted maze. We want to go to our Eli Jordan. Eli, good afternoon.
Hey, Elizabeth. Yeah, I'm here at the Haunted Hills. I'm deep in the woods of the Haunted Hills trails, and I'm out here at the butcher shop here, just checking. Oh my goodness! Oh, good. I tell you what. Let me get over here to Becky Dobson. She owns Haunted Hills here, and really, I mean, there's this creepy guy hanging out behind the, this fence here and stuff. But anyways, Becky, you got a real creepy crew here, and I'm gonna hop up on the, just tell us what's going on. I mean, you guys are, normally you have the hay rides here, right?
Yes. In October we are a haunted walking trail and haunted hayride.
And then, but today you're doing something what?
This is a unique experience for us because you're going to drive through here in your four-wheel drive vehicle. We are opening up the haunt for you to drive your own vehicle tonight.
Tonight, so because just down the road there is a Bronco festival, right?
Yes. It's the Talking Rock Bronco Stampede. So there's going to be lots of Broncos around. So we're hoping we get a few to come over tonight.
And so tonight people can get their four-wheel drive vehicle, right?
Yes.
And then what they do, they just ride the trails here and get spooked out?
We're just going to let you drive your own vehicle through and try to survive our monsters.
So you guys do, oh gosh. And so you guys do this every year, right? I mean, you got Jeeps sometimes, right?
Yes, we do. We started this as an off-season event for Jeep Fest, which is another event that happens in our county, Sheriff's Jeep Fest, every Labor Day weekend. So it would just be a Jeep trail. But we got lots of requests to open it up to more than just Jeeps, so that's what we're doing.
So yeah, you guys can you bring your Broncos out here today and you guys can get some really good mudding going on, right?
Yeah, this is an example of some of the mud you might.
And then you can mud up some ghouls over here, right? And then so how much does it cost if, the tickets are not sold out, correct?
No, there's still tickets available. They are $50 and the price per vehicle, not per person. There is no per person charge, so you can bring as many that will fit in your car.
And how long is this going? They can go to your website and purchase tickets?
You can get tickets at hauntedhillsfarm.com, or if you just show up, you can pay here with cash.
And so, and tell me the prerequisites for your vehicle if you want to come out here.
Every vehicle has to absolutely have four-wheel drive to make it through. Thanks to all the rain we got this week, there are muddy spots like what we just went through. But as long as your four-wheel drive's in good working order, you shouldn't have a problem.
And this is just one night only, right?
One night only.
And about how long of a drive should they expect?
This will last about 20 minutes from start to finish because we make you creep through really slowly for safety reasons, obviously. So it's about a 20-minute ride of screams and laughs and entertainment.
This thing's going to look a lot different. You're going to have fog machines out here, and it's going to have black lights along the trail, and
yes. Everything will be dark. The scenes will be lit. We have fog machines, strobe lights, scary actors, loud noises, anything that you would expect to find in any haunted attraction. You're going to have here.
I mean, it'll be fun. I think you get stuck in a mud spot here, and you're just spinning your wheels while you have these creepy people coming down it toward you.
Exactly.
Who do we have here? Do you know who this is? I don't know. It's just creepy.
Yeah.
This is real creepy. So, Elizabeth, if you want to come out here, I know you're a fan of mud riding maybe, or being creeped out. I don't know. But if you like them, if you like to be creeped out or like to go mud riding.
Oh, I love.
Come on down here to the Haunted Hills.
I love a good haunted experience. I don't know if I would want to be driving. I mean, I run off the road if there's a spider in my car, so I would be afraid that I would, hit something or someone. But that's such a cool thing, and you always get the best assignments. Thanks so much, Eli Jordan, for us. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. And welcome back. We're taking a live look now. That's Stone Mountain Park, where the GBI is on scene. Investigators are investigating after a body was found burned near a ledge. Our photojournalist Billy Heath is there on scene. We're looking at right now. This is obviously folks that are enjoying their day hiking up the mountain. As of now, you can only hike up the mountain. The sky lift is closed as they continue to investigate, because where that sky lift is, you would be able to see the graphic scene of that body. Billy, are you able to chat with us about?
Yes, I can chat with you, no problem at all. How are you, Elizabeth?
Good. So what
I have some new information for you.
Okay.
Okay, so I just spoke with the Stone Mountain Park Police PIO, and he sort of described the scene for me. He describes this as, quote, one of the weirdest scenes he's ever seen. You know, this is just a very unusual scene. He says that there were multiple stones sort of stacked along the ridge near where this body was discovered. He believes the body might be of a white male, and that this is just, you know, he's been here for many years and he's never seen anything like this. And this is all, you know, directly from him. I just spoke with him about 5 minutes ago. So certainly shocking to law enforcement here to be investigating the scene this morning, you know, right on top of the mountain.
And so talk about, you said you were able to ride the sky lift up the mountain just because they are allowing media to do so, but it's closed to the public. Describe kind of where this scene is and why, you know, they're having to shut it down.
Understood. So the GBI, of course, I understand that, one, anytime there's a death investigation in the park, you know, being state-operated or state-owned, the GBI is called out. Now, this is obviously a scene where the GBI's expertise is going to come in great handy, and they had to bring all their equipment up to do this investigation up the sky lift in order to get up here quickly. I can tell you that this body does appear that it may be removed somewhat shortly, and they've driven a truck up here to do that. There is a path on the mountain where, you know, vehicles like trucks, four-wheel drive vehicles can make their way up the mountain. So it appears the body will be removed by a truck. They didn't want to, you know, bring the body down via skylift because this is an operating park and people are here enjoying their day, and they don't want to, you know, turn this into a grand scene and frankly scare people. But yes, I was able to take the skylift. They have a media staging area for us, and they let us up to use the skylift. When I was on the skylift, you know, you look directly down and you were able to see that scene, and I was able to see many GBI officers conducting their investigation and to get a general idea of where the body is at.
And I know that this is still very much a developing situation, that they are having to kind of piece together what may have happened. It's a beautiful day, so to see such a scene like that, any indicator as to, you know, what may have happened?
They have no idea. He shared with me that they're not going to sort of understand what happened here until they get the autopsy back. There's just so many unanswered questions about why you would find, from what I'm hearing, a partially burned body in an area of the park that is, not this. The mountaintop. Obviously, there's people everywhere. This particular spot on the mountaintop, not many people go to. So, whatever happened here, someone chose for this to happen in a very isolated area. Thankfully for park visitors this morning, that means they can't really see where this was happening.
I'm also curious about, having a fire on the mountain, or if, folks are able to do that, or, was this body burned there, or did it, I guess,
Well, I can share a bit about that. So I guess at about 8:18 this morning, a hiker is the person who discovered this body. Stone Mountain Police would very much like to speak to the person who called 911. They haven't been able to reach that person since that phone call. They're very interested in hearing from anyone in the public who might have answers to this very, again, quote, weird and unusual scene up here on top of the mountain.
So is it in a location, though, that hikers would pass by, or is it sort of kind of off the beaten path?
Well, it's not, it's off the beaten path, but it's not fenced off. It gets to a point that's pretty steep. So I think most people are pretty happy with their view without taking those additional steep steps and kind of going down the mountain. But it's certainly an area that if you wanted to hike to, you could. but it's just not a common area for someone to hike to. It's not one of the, you're not going to get a better view, certainly by going to that lower part of the mountain that's sort of out of the way.
Which is probably why they are very anxious to talk to that hiker that called in this situation.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks so much. We'll continue to follow this and keep you updated. All right. Beautiful weekend.
Yes.
Last day of May.
Yeah.
We're heading into summer.
What more can you ask for, right? We got the wet weather out of here just in time for the weekend. Going to be a fantastic weekend. Only about a 20% chance of rain for tomorrow. That's an 80% chance of staying dry. But look, all right, so got a message about an hour and a half ago about tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. Emphasis on the night part. So basically what happened really early this morning is what's called a coronal mass ejection, which is just a piece of energy from the sun that was released. But do you remember last year when we saw the northern lights as far south as North Georgia? That is going to be a possibility, not a guarantee, but a possibility tomorrow night here in North Georgia. Now, I think it's going to be a likelihood tonight further to the north, places as far south as like Kansas City, Washington, D.C., New York. For us, it would be tomorrow night, but we need the conditions to align perfectly. Two things I'm watching for. One is going to be the cloud cover around tomorrow. How does that translate into the overnight hours? And then also, you might notice there's haze in the sky right now. That's some smoke from some wildfires in Canada. That to be completely honest with you, don't know how that would inhibit us from seeing them, right? We're still able to see light through the smoke. So it's going to be interesting. I also want to point out that there were two instances last year that we saw northern lights. The first we were able to see with the naked eye. The second you were only able to see through your phone camera.
That's right. Yeah.
Both had the same level of alert, if that made sense. Both were a G4 storm, which is what we have now. So I'm not exactly positive on what is going to happen, but I have the alert. The energy has left the sun. Horse has left the stable. We'll see what happens.
I can't believe it's been a year since the last one. Time is flying by. Well, thank you so much for spending your time with us this weekend. We appreciate it. You can stream with us every Saturday and Sunday starting at 9 a.m. Y'all have a great